tell everybody who you are and what you're running for?
My name is Johnny Moye, and I am running for the town of Winterville Council. That's what I'm running for. I am running because I love this wonderful town and what it done for me in my younger days with my kids and my wife. When we moved here back in 1986, at that time, everybody knew everybody in 1986. The population in Winterville was very, very small. It was less than 5,000.
Wow, it's been a lot of growth since then.
Lot of growth.
Mm-hmm.
And my son played, he was an athlete,
Mm-hmm.
and my daughter was too. I started him out in T-ball here in Winterville. I coached. And my daughter, she started off in T-ball also, and I coached her team. Basketball, same way. As they grew, I grew to a point whereas I still want to be active, not only within the community,
Mm-hmm.
but with my kids.
That's good.
I want to support them and my wife.
That's good.
Okay.
Now, Mr. Moye,
Yeah.
before we go any further, I want to ask you, a lot of people know you as Councilman Moye, Mayor Pro Tem, right? So what will people be surprised to know about you? Something outside of, what you do every day.
What I do every day.
Yes, sir. What would they be surprised to learn about you?
What I love to do every day, when I'm at home, I can go outside and stay on the outside all day long.
Mm-hmm.
I love to work in my yard. I like washing my cars.
Yes.
I like to tinkle with anything around there. I love my grandson. When I get a chance to be with him, I have a grandson now, he's 6, and he's one of the joy of my life.
Oh, yeah.
Surprising, and I love sports. Oh, yes. I'm commander, team,
Okay.
football. I love them before. And I like football mostly.
Okay, so no basketball.
I like basketball. I like the Lakers.
Okay, because I was going to ask you a very important question.
Oh, go ahead.
Duke or Carolina?
State.
Oh,
I am a wolf pack. My son is a Tar Heel. My grandson's a Tar Heel. All my brothers are Tar Heel. But I am a wolf pack fan.
Man, come on.
Now, if you want me to talk about college basketball, I am a wolf pack fan. Love them. Yes, indeed. Now, go ahead. Yes.
It's hilarious, but I wouldn't have guessed the wolf pack. But what inspired you to want to be and serve on the town council?
What inspired me was way back when like I said, going back the time that I moved to Winterville. Recreation was one of the key factors in my life at that time because of my family, my son and my daughter. And I wanted them to be involved into the community along with myself. And I found out that in order for me to have them involved, I had to be involved. I had the opportunity to be involved along with my wife and myself. I had time, and also the spare time that I did have, because at the time I was working shift work. So a lot of time I was off during the day or in the afternoon because I worked shift around the clock. So I did have that opportunity in that time. So to use that time wisely, that was what I did to serve my community. Start out in recreation. I worked myself, not work. They asked me to be chairman of the recreation department at that time. And that was before we had any directors. The volunteers were sort of like in charge of the recreation department.
Okay.
So myself and other volunteers, we was the one sort of like had to decide what we think we might need in the future. Make sure that we maintain what we have at that time, that moment. And those type of things kept me involved. As time went on, I grew from recreation. I started volunteer for different functions that they have, or if there was a concern in my community. When I first moved to Winterville, a street that I live on now is Alma Drive. It was a dirt street. I went to the town and asked them to have it paved. And they said, no, this time we do not have funds.
Mm.
And something inside of me said, you have to be consistent and persistent. Every time they had a meeting, I would come up with the same concern and interest. Yeah. And finally, they said yes.
Yes.
And I said, wow. Along with not just I, it took other ones that lives on the street to support this idea. So as a concerned citizens, we headed there. That was another reason why it inspired me to, to go further into doing things here in this town that people have helped supported me because they helped and supported us on that street. The town did too. Because they could have went on and continued on saying no. Baseball, when they were playing sports, the equipment that they needed. We had to raise money. I'll never forget the year that they uh, won the state, and it was the Bambino team. One of the parents on our team had a bus, yeah, but he didn't have the funds to take us where we need to go
Mm-hmm.
to the next level
Yeah.
after the state. So we had to raise money. The town helped us, the community helped us, and they think we know. We were loading our kids up and all the parents down to Florida. And that inspired me. And then not only that, not even just in baseball, basketball, my son and my daughter, I keep on talking about both of them. My daughter was playing basketball. I was coaching her team. And then my son was playing basketball. And this really inspired me. It was rec ball. My son team won the championship, and my daughter won the championship. And they told me, so that is the very first time that a coach had won a championship on both sides, on the girls and the boys. And I said to them, it won't I. It's what we and what kind of relationship that the young boys and the young ladies had together, along with the leadership of the parents. That's inspired me too. I've seen a lot of changes here in this town.
Yes, and that's what I was about to ask you next about. You've been serving for a while,
Yeah.
for many years, and I was gonna ask you some things you learned over that time in the community since you've been, serving.
I've learned one thing, something called unity. And what I mean by that is just one word to say that the town of Winterville is an at-large community.
Could you explain what that means to people that might not know?
At-large means that there is no Republican. You still can, by ticket, you still can be a Republican. There's no Democrat, and you still can be a Democrat. There is no wars. There is no district. And that means that even though we have a South, a North, a West, and a East, all of it belongs to as one, as a whole, what we consider as a slice of good life,
Mm-hmm.
all up together. So it's other towns, they do have district wards that when a council live in a certain area or someone who has an interest of running, they have to represent that section of town,
Gotcha. So if you lived in the South, you would represent the South.
that section of the town. Yes. But they will have it, they will have imaginary lines, sort of. They call it a district. And that group of people that you would represent in everything from public works, you're talking about electric department, anything or anything or any kind of concern that you might have, you will be their representation. At large, I represent, for the last 18 years, I represent this old town as one of the councils, one of the 5 councils. It's amazing. There's no I, it's we. And I heard that word, and I hear that word a lot. It's we. and us. In order for us or we to get anything done, it takes 3 votes from the council. I can come up with any kind of ideas, great ideas, but if I can't get the support from my other councils or 2 more councils, the idea is just an idea. It never. That's one of the reasons why I always say I won't ever promise you but one thing. And that one thing is that I'll put my best foot forward. That's right. And that's the best I can do. Now, if I tell you that I support a concern or interest, you can count on it. Then I'm going to do all I can to present it to the board. First of all, I'm going to agree with what your concern is. Next, I'm going to do all I can to present it to the board and see can we make it happen. Now, if it don't make it happen, it's because I didn't get enough support. At large, whatever we do, it does not only affect where I live. I live at 582 Alma Drive in Winterville. Whenever things or anything change or come in place, it affects 582 and the rest of our community. So whenever I make a decision, it's going to involve myself and my family.
And I know that you serve as Mayor Pro Tem as well on the board. Could you explain to the audience what that role is and what that means?
A Mayor Pro Tem role is only a role that is elected by the board. And the job is whenever the mayor himself is not available, if anything can come up unexpectedly, if not, he won't be able to make it, any kind of appointment or meeting, I should be able to step in to represent. The only difference between the mayor and the mayor pro tem, I still have the opportunity to vote. The only time I get a chance to vote either or, but the mayor himself only get a chance to vote when one of the councils is not there, and when there is a tie. But the mayor pro tem is just that, is to assist and step in when the mayor is not available.
Thank you for explaining that for us and breaking that down for the people, because I know a lot of people have never heard of that term before, so I appreciate that. Now, this is what I want to ask you. What's been some of the most challenging parts of leading at a local level? And how do you handle those moments?
There is an interest from a citizen. It can be safety. It can be a barking dog. It can be traffic situation that you need to slow down, whereas you might need speed bumps. It can be the electric bill is too high. It can be need some assistance to help repair a much needed part on their home. Whereas that were all of those things that I just spoke of, there are some stipulations behind that. And there's some criteria. If you don't meet this criteria, for instance, if you need some repair done at your home, how can the town help? You have to own your home. You have to be a certain age. You can't have no taxes, owing the taxes on it. We got a guideline you got to go by. If you don't meet those guidelines, even though there's a need right here, we can't make it happen. Traffic, speeders going up and down. How can you slow it down? Speed bumps does help. But believe it or not, the town of Winterville do not own all of the streets here in Winterville. Even Main Street, for an example, it's a DOT. They are the one that make the decision on whether or not to place support to place a speed bump, or if they want to change the speed limit on it, or if they want to try to put a stoplight down on it. or some kind of caution, it's up to them. Mill Street, sidewalks,
It's a DOT conversation.
DOT conversation, and then want one, because it's dangerous. Mill Street is it's really dangerous. We should have sidewalks. And what hurts me so bad is whenever you see a need of those that I just got through speaking of, and you know what you got, what kind of ounce are you going to get to repair, and you know that this person have not paid the taxes because they can't afford to, or you go into a community where you know one's just speeding, and you ask the change the speed limits, or put speed bump there, or put a light there. They won't do it. You can't make it happen. Statistic. They got a way of this reason. And you got to have a reason. You just can't do everything just because. You got to have some guidelines and policies. So once you set up those guideline policy, that's what you got to go by. And if you go out of that realm, those policy for one, you got to do it for everybody. For me, that's one thing I don't believe in. The way I treat this one, I want to treat everybody the same.
Mm-hmm. So.
If I can't do that, I'm going to be quiet. I'm not going to, no. If I can't help you, I'm not going to harm you. I'm going to do all I can for you.
And it's very needed in this time. And I want to ask you, what are your top priorities for Winterville?
My very top priority is public safety. South quarter of Winterville is getting ready to really grow. And one of the top priority right now is water. We got in order for you to grow, you got to have water. Along with that, with recreations, multi-purpose go. Multi-purpose building has been in place for over 20 plus years. Yes. And I think now we are heading in the right direction to see that come into fruition. The land has been purchased.
It has. Yes, it has.
It's going to be on Chapman Street.
We're ready. We are ready.
So now we are waiting for the next step. And we should be hearing something about that within the next year. We should. There's a process. It's not an overnight thing, because you want to make sure that you try to do everything of what needed the right way. And the state of North Carolina, they got guidelines that you have to follow. Mm-hmm. So between public safety and the multi-purpose, and then you're talking about, I can go on with that. Infrastructure, you're talking about the sewer system.
Yes.
So whenever you have growth, what goes in got to come out.
Mm-hmm. And that's great that you're talking about that, because that was my next question, being that Winterville is growing so fast. How do we manage the growth while keeping it, I'm not going to say while keeping the small town identity, but how do you manage those things as Winterville grows?
Well, you have something called budget. You budget every year. Mm-hmm. And you got to stay within your guideline of your budget. Mm-hmm. You can't spend no more than what you take in. But if you do, you're asking for trouble. The team that we have and our staff that we have here in town, from our town management to finance to every department, code enforcers, making sure that if a developer comes in, make sure that everything is taken care of legally. Even the new properties that they want to sell and want to develop, make sure that it's no wetland, that it could be able to hold what they are requesting. Mm-hmm. Your R6 and the R10 and R12. You're talking about R6 is supposed to get smaller homes. And you're talking about R10 is going to be a little bit bigger. And then you're going right on up to like 20, 22. That's when you talk about the real expensive homes. I think right now we in a position that we do offer just about all of those needs, even now with rental property, leasing properties, our homes. Yep. And hopefully in the future, near future, that we can do some more to bring a hotel and a motel here on down the road. That is a big. Um, we got a lot of opportunity here, and we got a lot of people that love to come here because they look at our safety record. We are one of the safest community, not just here in Pitt County, not just here in North Carolina. We're talking about in the U.S. in the top 20. And they said, well, how in the world did y'all manage to do something like that? Because you look around the other municipality, their rates are just a little bit higher. I'm not saying bad, but it's a little bit higher than what ours are. Well, we have been blessed.
Oh, for sure. That is a fact.
Yes.
So one issue, this is something I was thinking about. What's one issue you think doesn't get enough attention but really affects residents in Winterville?
It's so many because there's a lot of things you just can't control. It's just like your water. Um, our alpha wells here, there's not so much that we can pump out
Mm-hmm.
here in the town of Winterville because of government regulation in there. So we have to purchase a lot of water from Greenville.
Mm-hmm.
Well, outsource. Let me just say outsource just in case I might miss some. And that can be very expensive because it's not because we want to charge you or increase your rates because we don't have no other choice. Because you got to have water. Those type things right there come along with growth. Going back to my sewer line system that we have down in Griffith, we have to constantly modify, keep that abreast. It's very expensive. Even though that we are connected with Aden and Griffith. It's Aden, Griffith, and Winterville. I have that sewer system down in Griffith. It's very expensive to operate. Only thing you have to do is look at your utility bill and break it down. You can see it right there. Electric, we are in a really good situation with that because we have a contract now that for a period of time, we locked in on a certain price. If we had never went together as a board and accepted that, there's no telling what our utility will be today. It will be a lot higher than what it is.
How can residents stay better informed and involved in what the council is doing? What is something you can tell them?
The newsletter
Mm-hmm.
that you receive every month in your utility, that users give you good information on what's happening here in our town. Then we have a website, web page that you can go to. Also, stay abreast of what's going on in this town. We meet as a board the second Monday night of each month at 6. If you want to have opportunity to ask questions, or if you see the agenda, I read the agenda beforehand, and you have a concern, the citizen has a time on the agenda that they can be able to address their concerns. So not only you can get information, that we can receive your concerns and interests at our meetings.
That's very true.
Yes.
And they have about, what, 3 minutes? If they would like to speak, they would need to fill out an application, right? And turn it in within a certain amount of time.
Yeah, and it does not only stop there either. Not only just stop at when you have the opportunity to stand before. My number. I mean, you can call me or you can email me. If you can't reach me, yes, the town, you can call the town and talk to any employee up there, from the manager on up, to ask for me. If you can't reach me, they will be excited. But usually, the information that they have to be able to reach me with, you will have the same information. There's no hidden agenda. I just want to let you know that.
Yes, sir.
Okay. But what they would do, they would continue on trying till they reach.
They gonna get in contact with you.
There you go. You're going to be consistent and persistent till
Yes.
they get with.
I got a couple more questions for you, sir. So, what's one of your you've been serving for a while. So, what would you say one accomplishment from your town that you're most proud of for being on the council?
One of the accomplishments.
Yes.
All of them. From A to Z. You know, from youth, you're talking about having activities for them, for the young adults. They have different activities for them also, you know. And, our senior citizens, they have opportunity to gather and meet now. I mean, it's there. It's available, you know, that you can go out and walk the street, not being afraid in the afternoon or dawn or in the evening. Cleanness of our community. We take pride in that, along with the safety and the growth that we have and our budget. The budget, we're not in a crunch that we don't overspend, like I said, but we don't underspend either. Make sure that we take care of the needs of our town. The best is yet to come.
Now, with the budget, I know that I was listening to the budget in April, and I know some citizens have sometimes an issue with how money is spent, especially with the Watermelon Festival. What could you say to that?
It brings the community together. It's a chance to see who you have here in this town, have your opportunity to invite relatives to come, friends to come, ones that are looking for looking for a location. And also this gives us the opportunity to let ones know what we have here to offer. The Watermelon Festival is yes, is it expensive? Have I seen anything come out of it? I think so. I do believe that it has something to do with some of the growth that we have here. And we had an opportunity to showcase this wonderful town.
So, what does leadership mean to you when it comes to serving in Winterville? What does leadership mean?
Leadership to me is not I. It's not an I. And I don't live here all by myself. It's us. That's the leadership. The citizen is the leader. Then the board. And then the staff of Winterville. In that order.
In that order.
Yes, the citizen is number one. That's my leadership. And I'm a citizen also of Winterville. So I'm right up there with them. I pay taxes.
Just like we all
Just
do.
like we all do.
For the residents who haven't met you yet, why should they trust you to continue representing them?
My integrity is not about me. I would say give me an opportunity for you to know me. Talk to anyone in this town that knows me. And then give me an opportunity for yourself to know me. I'm not too high or too low to reach or to touch. I'm one of those that I love people. I do everything I can for you. It's not about me. I have been blessed in my life, still being blessed. And I have an opportunity to try to bless somebody else along the way. It's a gift that he gave me to share not only with my family, not only with my neighbors, but this old town that we consider as the town of Winterville.
So, if the people would like to support you, reach out to you anyway, how can they do that?
They can reach me by the website. You look on the Winterville website, and it has all of my information there. My phone number is not private. It's 252-355-3777. And I do have a messenger.
Okay.
If I do not answer, I will respond.
Yes.
as soon as I can.
That's true.
Yes.
So, what is one last thing you would like to leave with the residents of Winterville that will see this video?
I like to say to you that I am one of those that willing to do all I can for this wonderful town. Not just eyes, ears, and hands, it's from my heart. And I love to serve. I'm asking you for your vote, and I'm asking you to come out to vote. Will I do everything that you want me to do and solve everything that you want me to solve? We'll invite to those 3 votes. That's the only way that we can get it done. And I like to be one of those votes to support your concerns, your interests, and the need for the whole town. Because this is an at-large community. Velma Harper, at rest. She was the one that came up with the slogan, the slice of good life. And it's instilled in me. And I think it's a part of this town also. So I say to you, vote for Johnny Moye for town council for this election. And I appreciate it so much. Early voting has already started on the 27th. It will be early voting here in Winterville at the Operations Center and at the fire station. We did have a third location. It would not be open this time. So the ones that was at the third location will be voting at the Operations Center. So come out to vote if you live on the west, the south, east, and the north. And in the center of the town of Winterville. Vote. Please vote for Johnny Moye. And I thank you so much. And I thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you so much for coming by and having a conversation with me today. I definitely appreciate it.
Yes.
And I wanted to make sure that my platform has an opportunity to hear from all of you so it can help make them make a decision.
Yes. Thank you.
Yes, sir. So I appreciate that.
You're welcome.